how do we actually get our meetings off to a good start? How might we do that? What might you think are some of the things you would need to be worrying about? Be prepared, yes? What might be prepared mean? What for you is being prepared? Have an agenda?
Knowing who you're presenting to.
Knowing who you're presenting to? Knowing where the meeting is? So my question to you is, so there's this stuff that we need to do right before the meeting. We're back here, we haven't even got into the room. We're preparing before we even go and see them. Did any of you see and observe what I did when we started this morning? What did I take you through right at the beginning? Did you see how I mapped a bit of a path for you? And the way I did that for you was I started off by giving you a little bit of a history lesson. I gave a quick introduction to that you're in front of a husband and wife team, and I then shared with you that historically we have had a relationship for roughly 6 years. And back then how it was in Edgecliff and a smaller team and how things have moved on. I wanted to ensure that as we started today's journey, we were both at the same starting point. We're both on the same step of the path, knowing and comfortable why we're here and roughly what direction we think we're planning to go in the day. What I then wanted to do for you is to give you some idea of what the expectations were of you, that you will make the investment of today worthy of the investment of today. What might be some of the advantages to you of that? Well, you will have better conversations, you will build more trusting relationships. Ultimately, you will make more money for yourself and for this firm. I counsel you to talk about what action they're going to take for you if today's conversation goes really well, right up front. Very, very early in the piece, get an agreement as to what are we going to do if this meeting goes really, really well. You will find the productivity of your meetings will skyrocket if you do that. So unless you get them to commit to what they're going to do for you and challenge them on that at the end of the meeting, how do you know you're moving forward? The only way you know that you're moving forward is by the actions that they've taken for you between the conversations. We then moved into, there might be some thorny issues. I'm a great believer, yeah, absolutely, I'm a great believer, name the elephant in the room. You know, I think if we don't, sometimes we all walk around it and skirt the elephant. It comes and causes us a problem later on, you know, in the relationship, in the conversation. One of the thorny issues I didn't even raise that I meant to raise was by the very fact that we've got a large audience, by definition, you are all at different stages of your life, your career, your experience, your expertise. For some of you, this is all fantastic, new and exciting, and maybe you've never had the opportunity to just stop and consciously reflect about how you communicate. So that was some of the thorny issues, size of the room, the layout of the room, and things like that. And then I gave you some housekeeping. And the housekeeping was really that agenda. If you remember, I gave you that circular diagram, what to do before, what to do during, and some polish ideas. So there's a little tool that you might want to think about adding to your think, feel, do approach. So I want you to think about some meetings that you've got coming up in the next week or two, and think about how might you use PATH appropriately to properly prepare for that meeting. What is the benefit to you of doing this? Why might I be recommending that it is worth thinking about PATH before heading out there? You're far more likely to achieve the outcome you want to achieve, yes? And by having pre-prepared that, how do you feel about your ability to achieve the outcome? You feel confident. How do you think feeling confident might impact the personal branding? It's going to impact it positively, isn't it? Do you get how when you feel good about yourself and you feel positive and confident, you just can't help yourself. You're going to project yourself. You're going to stand a little bit taller. You're going to look somebody in the eye with more confidence. You're just going to project an energy that says, today's going to be a good day. You're going to have a good meeting. And they get that. Okay, can you take a moment and prepare your next meeting? Do your PATH preparation for your next meeting that you're having in the coming days. You've thought about the premise, the history of why you're having this meeting. You've thought about what action you want the client to take for you before you go and actually speak to them. You're thinking about what fears, what thorny issues might come up. Why is it useful to think about the thorny issues before you even turn up? Why would I be saying as part of your preparation, think of what could go wrong? Forewarned is forearmed, yes? Experience tells me the more I worry about something happening, the less likely it is to happen. but also the more I've worried about it, if it then does happen, the more chance I have of managing it appropriately. Okay? And then the housekeeping is, what do I need to talk about in order for us to achieve our action? So that's what you do before the meeting. Can you see how P.A.T.H could be used to set a really lovely solid foundation for the meeting moving forward?